great episode. I don't know why we're singing the song. Well, everybody, welcome to another. We're playing a little snippet here of the song, but we're not going to play that right now. So, anyways, everybody, remember, welcome to another great episode of Real Life Matters, and I'm here today with a fabulous person. He's trending. He's all in the entertainment industry. He's just going everywhere. He's all over the place. He's in USA, of course. I'm not just saying because I'm from Canada. But anyways, we want to find out who is this man, and he's going to introduce himself. Welcome. Welcome. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am blessed, and I have no complaints.
So tell everybody who you are. What's your name?
Well, my name is Christopher Denson, and my friends call me CD, like CD player. And I hail from Chicago, but I like to consider myself a Renaissance man. I'm, worldwide, global. And my background is arts and entertainment and media. Indeed.
Wow.
And as of late, I've launched a label called Jablu Hop Music Enterprises, and it's distributed through the sub-distributor Prodigy Sony Orchard. And I'm very excited about it. I've got some artists that are doing some really exciting things. And it's really cool for me because me stemming from like artistry, I was an artist. In fact, that's kind of my calling card. I was one of the first like independent artists out of Chicago that really had a big budget put up behind the project that really like contended. But it was funny because when I did that, I realized I don't really want to be an artist. Because once I saw that, it immediately made me start to taking the business side more serious. So since then, I've been leading up to finally where I am now. They say overnight success takes 20 years, right? Well, there it is.
There it is. Well,
Yeah.
And there you are. I'm telling you, you've just been, so many great things are happening for you. Yeah. So tell everybody, like, okay, you live in Chicago, right? You're from the Midwest.
I live in Chicago. I do spend some time in New York and LA. I'm actually going to be headed out to LA. I'm going to be spending a lot more time on the West Coast. I'm kind of over the whole Chicago snow thing. So, and I also, I launched the Peep Game podcast and radio show, which is on XM satellite radio, XM 142. Through the HBCU Go TV network as well. So there are some content and network opportunities that, as far as some movies and some things that'll be going up on the HBCU Go network that we're in kind of negotiations about now in discussions. It's an interesting network because a lot of the cats that were on the team of BET are now launching this network. And it's interesting because it's piped into all the HBCU colleges, which is historical Black colleges and universities. So I love the opportunity to have, for me to be able to still reach out to young people in that way and kind of bridge, kind of the stuff that from, my era and just the information, because I think that they should have access to certain information that they'll miss. So I love being piped into the HBCUs because it like keeps you relevant. It keeps me fresh, keeps me fly, keeps me, popping, keeps me abreast of what's going on with the young people. And that's important because if you're not reaching them, what you doing?
So that means that you're involved in a lot of community engagement, correct?
Well, well, that's my thing. My family has always been involved in community engagement. I mean, my mom founded a vocational training school for adults and the newspaper that I inherited in the media network called the Windy City Word, windycityword.com, check us out, was actually founded by my mom. And even with the recording studio that I built, within the building, we would do things like we had an after school program that my mom founded since like 1984. So one of the main things that my recording studio would do was kids would come in after school and they would go in the studio and learn how to write songs and learn how to use Pro Tools and Logic and all these different programs. And do you know some of these kids got so good that they're actually making money doing this to this day? And I even hired engineer sessions and do different things. And I'll just tell you a quick story.
Okay.
It's classic of how you have to meet kids where they are, right? my mother used to fuss all the time about kids would come in after school program, and she would want them to write in their journal before they got started doing fun stuff. And so they would hem and haw about writing and writing and writing. So I said, okay, well, Mom, watch this. So I told them, hey, here's some tracks. I want you guys to take these music tracks and write to them, right? Then I couldn't get them to stop writing. They would literally go home and come back the next day like, hey, look what I wrote last night. So
you mean the music, actual music tracks? He told them to write some lyrics to them,
because the whole get them involved in words and expressing themselves, and the creative part of just, you know, working with words and language, which was the whole point of the journal. But the way I did it, they were excited about it. The way Mom did it, they were like, oh,
they didn't know.
you know, you gotta meet them where they are. So that's the challenge, because, you know, young folks automatically feel like they know everything and we don't know nothing. Like, how I got to be.
Well, did your mother agree with you?
She had no choice but to agree with me, because the proof was in the pudding. It wasn't even something to argue, which is a rare thing with her, let me tell you.
I know, because, you know, you're thinking that you go over your mother's thing and you go tell okay, look, you know, you don't have to listen to her, but listen to me. You know, I figured that your mother would say, excuse me.
But she could not deny that these kids were coming in with pages written. Come on. They teach us that, but I got them to do it. And they would be, and then it got to the point where if their behavior wasn't appropriate, then we would hold that whole, well, you're not gonna be able to go in the recording studio if you don't act right. And so it was a lot of leverage. So
you had some boundaries.
Yeah. So my whole point is, like, no matter what I'm doing, there's going to be a give back. Even with the young man that we're going to be talking about in a moment, Mr. Bernard Lilly, goes by the name of B. Lilly. I've been mentoring this young man for over a decade. So, wow. Yeah. And now he's a college graduate, and just an amazing young man. Finished his schooling, amazing artist, very serious about social justice. You know, and it's interesting because he's a young person taking that road. And it took me to get to 50 to really understand that the whole point of my art and creativity is to uplift people and humanity, and really use our craft to put messages and images out that are going to be healing messages, versus maybe the old CD back in the gangster rap days. And I was putting out all the bogus banging with J.D. Walker and the Do or Dies and the Twister stuff, the things we put out in Chicago that maybe wasn't as conscious, but that's where we were at the time, you know? So I'm very happy that now God has blessed me to get to a point in my life where I'm able to use my gifts and my platforms to heal and to, you know, kind of expand on God's purpose in my life. And, you know, just stuff like that. I guess I'm just kind of grown up now. And this kid.
Well, this is the journey of Christopher Denson.
Indeed.
Denson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing, you know, how did you make the transition between the music and now you're coming into the entertainment? You just said, you know what, it's the time, or how did you come about that?
Well, the thing is, since I always remember, there's a friend of mine who's a business associate. Her name is Mary Datcher. Okay. She's one of the top. She had a company called On the Street Promotions. And when I tell you, she like really was one of those people that like invented that whole street promotions game, especially in Chicago, right? So when I first put my first project out years ago, I hired Mary Datcher to be my street promotions person, right? And I remember we were doing in-stores. You know, back in the day, you had the in-stores because everybody was selling records and tapes and CDs. And so you would go to the in-store and meet the store owners and, you know, kind of smooth them and get them to kind of promote your record, right?
Okay.
I ain't like that. And let me tell you why. Because to me, I felt like every time I would go to one of these retailers, they'd be like, okay, sing. Like no, you sing. and I know it's ignorant, but I felt like it was being done in a condescending way almost, you know? And for me, having a mentality of a leader, I kind of took that, I processed that in a weird way. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be feeling like that. So from that moment, I knew I'm not going to be doing this artist thing. When you're creative, it's not so much about singing. I'm thankful that God gave me the gift to sing, and I've been able to bless others with that gift. But the creative thing is the main thing. So from a very young age, I kind of knew that it was going to be the business side of things that I was going to be eventually getting into. And it took me some time to actually get in it where I was taken seriously, but I'm here now. You got to take me seriously now because I got 2 million streams on the record. You know?
Well, everybody's seeing you all over the place. That's no doubt. My gosh. But you know, a lot of people would like to be where you're at, but you took your stripes, you know, every stripe you worked, right?
Yeah.
You took another one.
Well,
and people don't understand that, you know.
I took a lot of beatings. Like, we took a lot of beatings. Like I don't even want to hang around people that didn't fail, because that's not real to me. I learned way more. You know, DJ Nate posted something this morning, and as crazy as DJ Nate, what's up, Nate from Chicago, one of the artists, he posted something this morning, something to the effect of, you learn way more when you hit rock bottom than you learn at the top of the heap. And that is so true, because I have learned way more in my failures and my shortcomings about success than I did when I was just in my wins. You know, winning is fun. And when you win, you save some of that for when you lose. You save some of that good feeling, you know, for when you lose. But I've learned way more from my failures, you know, and there have been many. So I'm able to kind of rejoice a little bit in the prospect of success now, you know, and being in the process of becoming quote unquote successful. To me, I feel like I've always been successful because I do what I want to do, and I make money doing it. I don't check anybody's clock every day. I don't, you know, I'm doing what I want to do. And I think that's ultimate success in itself.
All right. Well, you're going to talk more about that. We're going to just take a brief moment and we'll be right back.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
Looking for a TV show that brings you a raw, uncut, unbiased opinion? What about a show providing a platform to tell us about your business or talent? Tune in to Talk It Out, Monday through Friday, hosted by Chill of Come Clean Empire and his co-hosts, DBoss, Corey Whitmore, and DJ Despair, where we bring you not just a TV show, but a TV experience.
Welcome to Real Life Matters. I'm your host, DBoss. Real Life Matters is a power-packed, inspired program that brings you real people with real matters. If you are a company, brand, or artist, we will take you to the next level. Watch Real Life Matters Monday to Friday right here.
If a parent is in denial and unsure or refusing concerns from their family, their neighbors, their doctor, what would you tell them today? I'll let you go, Danica, first.
I would say first and foremost, don't be afraid of the diagnosis. The diagnosis equals services. When you have a diagnosis, you get your services. If you shy away from that and you say, I don't want to label my child, a lot of people in the Black community especially don't want to label.
Rhythm.
Blessed love from Barbados, or as we so beautifully like to say here on the island, what going on, lovely people? I'm Bugging Kente, the spirit of the people. I'd like to welcome you to the Rhythm Caribbean Top 10 Countdown, bringing you some of the hottest artists, songs, and videos from across the entire Caribbean. So stay tuned.
Rhythm.
Well, we're back here with Christopher Denson. Of course, you're truly me. And he's going to tell us about he's never really worked a real job. And he's been doing this all his life. So tell us about that journey.
I mean, I tried. I don't think I've ever been able to hold a job for a year, because after about a year, I think I had 2 jobs, right? Great job, Underwriters Laboratories. I was on the first marketing team of Underwriters Laboratories, which is a company that has offices in 200 different countries. And, you know, but for me, I just, the limitations of the 4 walls and, I gotta be here at 9 o'clock. And like, I just don't function like that. Not and be happy. So for me, it was worth it to take the chance. And my mom having the entrepreneurial spirit, it's so funny because she's funny. She'd be, boy, you need to get a job, but you ain't never had a job, but you want me to get a job. Like, what? How does make it make sense, mama? So you taught me to do thing. And so she's starting to come around now because, you know, she didn't understand.
Now.
Well, because digital streaming, all this stuff versus someone from her era, she like, boy, how this gonna make money? What you talking about? You need some medication. So, he was like, well, you need. I'm gonna send you this number to this counselor, Chris. Just talk to him. But see, I'll tell you.
So did she always say you're still doing that thing that you're doing, or she always used to say that to you, or
worse? She wouldn't even. If it was just called a thing, I was doing good. Because my mom don't really cut a whole lot of corners. But it was done out of concern because she didn't understand. It was still done out of love, but her lack of understanding, she didn't get where I was headed with it. Because I didn't even get where I was headed. All I know is God was giving me a vision. And he tells me to do certain things. And I do them. And it works out. And when I don't do them, it don't. So it's funny because when people start telling you things like you're insane or you're crazy, that's typically... It was ironic because I know for a fact that that's when I was at my most clear moment. So I just laughed. Okay, mama. But, you know, now, like I said, I just tell people, you know, as entrepreneurs, you got to dig deep and just go for it, man. And if God is telling you to do something, don't worry about trying to figure it out. Just do something because he's funny. God will bless you because, you know, the faith and the works together.
yes.
If you have faith, you may do the exact wrong thing. And God will look you and say, this fool don't know what he doing. He did what I told him to do. And he'll bless your situation. And see, that's like divine intervention. And it's real if you tap into it, you know, and that's just kind of my philosophy on things and how I was raised. I was raised in the church. And, you know, I'm not a super, you know, holy roller type person, but I ain't crazy either. I know which side.
Well, everybody back in the daytime when they went to church, there were people like you and me, you know, and that's how I got Real Life Matters. You know, I got the name that was I was in church, and I got that was the name it was supposed to be called, and then everybody started coming out with all kinds of stuff after. But you know, you don't have to be. You're showing people on your journey. You are God's people and God's servants, so you have to understand. That is it. Not everybody's going to be up. Not everybody has their role inside the church, inside the four walls of the church. Like me, I don't have that role. I was told that. I know that, and you either. But you're out there helping the people.
And that's what it's about. Even everything, I'm cut from that. That's my mama's fault. Even when I try not to do that, but I can't get away from it because, and it blesses you. You know, I started a car dealership about 4 years ago. Wow. And everybody thought I was crazy because, and I got to be honest, that was probably one of the worst business decisions I made. And I'd have made some doozies. Okay. Because I remember I had just come off a project. We had just done a project with Malik Youssef and Kanye. And like, you know, it was this long project. And I was like, I just kind of want to do something different. And I was a car collector. So I said, you know what? I'll buy a car dealership. Not thinking how much time this is going to take for me to dealing with customers, marketing, shipping cars, buying cars, or, you know, a Secretary of State, plates and this and taxes and that, this stuff. So luckily I figured out a business model that works for me. I hired a general manager and kind of put things in play where I don't have to be there. Because if I own a business that I have to be at, you almost may as well have a job. It's less stressful. Seriously, I'm giving people real game right now. If you own a business, now I understand sometimes you have to scale your business up, and that's right. Okay if you're doing it yourself now. But if you're in a business that you can never scale up, where it only depends on you being there, it's less stressful to have a job. You ain't got to worry about taxes, light bill, payroll, none of that. Like if I got to be here, what's the point? You own businesses for freedom. So you know. God worked that out. So now I got some dealer reps that kind of run the business, and, you know, I still get paid if I don't ever sell a car, you know? So like I said, when you listen to him, a lot of times it won't make sense, but it'll work out over time if you into what's going on, you know? And that's
why it gives you time so that you can reflect, because you put the proper people in place. So you have time to think and reflect.
Yes. You
have your entourage and your people. Well, so how do you go ahead.
You know, my support is because all my guys are rock stars, man. They doing their own thing, you know. And my guys get money. I can call them and be like, man, you know what? So it's not about them like working for me. It was actually more about expanding the opportunity beyond just me being Chris Motorsports and saying, hey, these guys want to get in the business, and maybe sometimes cats can't afford to go spend the type of money that I spent to actually start a car dealership. But, there are ways for them to still join with me and make money and come under, with my license. And, I can teach them some things and some opportunities. And it's been working out, and people are feeding their families. And, hey, we're figuring it out as we go along. And it allows me time to do what I really love, which is music and entertainment and media. Right.
So how do you scout your guest, your artist? How do you scout your next?
For my game show, with the Peep game show, it's interesting because I have so many famous and infamous friends. I just started right there. And I'm not even done with that list yet. Just going over the people that I've worked with on projects and stuff and reaching out to them like, hey, man, I got this XM satellite radio show. Would you come on? And most of the guests that I've had thus far have been people that I have a personal relationship with of some sort. Now it's starting to expand. Where I just had an interview with a guy who works with Bugatti, the car automotive company.
Yeah.
They like the creme de la creme of luxury brands, $6 million cars. Okay. So that knew me and was like, hey, I think somebody's interested. You should talk to him. So, and just following up on those things and just real organically. If I think it's something that people can get something out of, I don't care if you're famous or not. I want people to peep game, something that's going to help you help yourself. Right.
Well, we want to see me on there. Oh, well, anyway, not giving it any. No.
That's coming.
All right. So I'm going to play a video, a short little clip snippet, which you saw a little piece of it, but you weren't supposed to see it like that. But anyways, you can see the full thing, and we'll come back and talk about that artist.
You want me to introduce?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We do it after.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Dear America, is it as hard as it seems? Dear America, I want my son to live out all his dreams. Dear America, please let him live his life. Yeah, find out what's inside of him. Dear America, is it as hard as it seems? Dear America, I want my son to live out all his dreams. Dear America, please let him live his life. Oh, yeah. And find out what's inside of him.
Wow. So who's that?
Well, that is the young man, B. Lilly. And I'm very proud of this young man once again, because like I said, he's college graduate, West Side of Chicago. You know what's funny about B. Lilly? He's like the new improved version of me, because we're West Side kids, both from the West Side, the same zip code, both went to Providence St. Mel High School. And now to be able to help him not make the mistakes that I made at his age as a Chicago artist is such a blessing. And the kid has enormous talent. And that particular song means a lot to me because it's about the plight of a Black woman raising a Black male child in America. And the song features Opal Staples. Her grandfather is Pop Staples, Respect Yourself, the classic Staples singers. So yeah. Opal is the female voice on there. Opal is the next generation. So I'm just very proud of them because they're very, very serious and dedicated artists who make music that means something for real. So wow. That's what it's about. So when you got people like that, it's easy to help them.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about something. We're going to ask you something when we come back, but I won't tell you what we're asking. We'll just take a brief moment.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Y'all.
Sons and daughters of St. Lucia, love the land that gave us birth, land of beaches, hills and valleys, fairest isle of all the earth. But do we take this Helen of the West for granted? Do we allow strangers to come evaluate our precious stone while we only admire her beauty in glossy magazines?
Today we're going to be doing a recipe for pak choi bhaji. I'm pretty sure you've had this before. Yummy. We're gonna add some black pepper and salt to the chicken. So that's the black pepper you're adding now.
Today I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado. The location, the views, the overall atmosphere. Bottom line, if you don't enjoy this episode, this series, this location, you, my friend, you're already dead. You just don't know it. That said, my trip includes a tour of what American Legacy Firearms is all about.
No, we like to do one-of-a-kind firearms here at American Legacy Firearms.
Yo, what up? It's your home station, K98 Jams, hanging out with your girl, T.A. I'm Tanisha. I used to be in credit card debt, but now I'm finally free. You got it. Y'all know what it is. It's your home station. #1 for blazing hip-hop and R&B.
I was 18 years old when I got my first credit card. It only took me about 6 months to max it out.
We're back here with Christopher Denson, the man. I don't know what part of America the girl was in that was doing that podcast or what she was doing on the radio there. So it's okay. So he's all nervous now. What kind of questions he's going to ask me?
I'm good now because I'm sober for this interview. I think our last interview, another thing. Don't worry about that.
You had your lemonade or something.
Yeah, lemonade. Yeah, that's what it was.
Whatever lemonade. Well, yeah. You want one of those lemonades, whatever you had.
I have my coffee. It's not spiked or anything. I don't want people to think I'm a total fool. I do have sometimes.
Okay, so what's the most craziest thing that happened to you while you where your movies and your career? You know, you can have two.
The craziest thing that ever happened to me?
Yeah.
I had a lot of crazy. Some of the stuff that I can't talk about. Some of this stuff you're trying to get.
Yeah, but you can talk. We want to know. Everybody out there in wants to know. Real Life Matters want to know.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. One of the wildest things that happened probably was with the Wu-Tang Clan back in the day. We had a concert at Cabaret Metro. Metro in Chicago, and it was some misunderstandings, but it's actually a good lesson because we had a deal and they were supposed to, wear some clothes and do some things, for our clothing company, Bezeled Out. And I got to the show and nobody was wearing the clothes or doing nothing. I'm like, we had right. So, back in the day, let's just say it was very easy for me to be like, you know what, we just gonna tear up everything. Beat up everybody, we're gonna tear up everything. Because you're in Chicago. Now, but I'm a reasonable person. And rather than going that route, we talked. It was a misunderstanding. And then you know what they did?
What?
They ended up wearing our clothing brand on it was a while ago. So you remember TRL in the basement, like one of the biggest shows?
Yeah, I think so.
The clothes on TRL to show love. And so, I use this because it was a crazy situation because we literally had their whole stage surrounded. And they was like, wait, how these guys on the stage and they ain't got no passes? Because you're in Chicago, bro. I don't need a pass. But I'm going to tell you, those guys are real players. And I'm really glad that we didn't get it escalated to the point where it was like any type of craziness because they ended up doing something for us that I couldn't have afforded with that type of exposure on TRL and just showing real love. And like I said, I use this as an example to let people know, don't always, get violent and want to fight. And, there are ways for us as Black men to negotiate and to be better and to take a situation. Don't take the simple route. You just want to fight. Because what you going to get out of it? So if I do something to them, you think Wu-Tang not finna do something back to me? Really? I think they just not cut like that, So,
but I don't. That would be too good seeing you fighting and stuff on at an event. Even though a lot of people I've talked to, they had fights at an event. That's something that's happened. They couldn't believe it, and the show's still going on.
Well, and then it was a dangerous time in hip hop. And I'm gonna tell you, one of my mentors worked closely with Death Row, Kevin Lewis. RIP, one of my mentors. I mean, this man taught me a lot. And so it was during that time where he was out with Death Row and all that stuff was going on. And I didn't want to create a situation like that, you know, because I wasn't there with them because I wanted to have friction. I wanted to build a bridge and an alliance. And I'm glad that we ended up being able to do that. So that was the one thing. Oh, and the second thing probably was when I threw a party in Montreal, Canada.
Oh my God! Yeah, why it had to be Canada? Okay, go ahead.
You're gonna love this one. You remember Daryl Pandy? God rest his soul. He was one of the biggest house artists of all time. Okay, I remember we were rolling through the airport. He was a big guy. He had on his fur coat and diamonds, and we rolling through the airport, pushing him. Then we got like 20 people with us, right? And you know when you get to customs in Canada, they like randomly, you know, just randomly.
Yeah.
Well, they was like randomly, all y'all come over here. So do you know that I got a whole concert planned? We got to Canada. You know they sent the DJ back and did not let him in the country.
What?
Yeah, because I guess he had something going on with legally or something, and can't play that. Right?
No.
So I ended up having to improvise, and the show still ended up being a success. But I was like, I'm in a whole nother country. Y'all just gonna send my DJ back? Can we talk?
So who DJ'd then?
We kind of had to improvise with the soundtrack. We used the house guy that was at the club and just kind of made it work because it was more of a concert, but we had an orchestration thing going on between the DJ and the thing. So we just had, you know, I'm here now. I'm in Canada. What I'm gonna do? I gotta make this thing work.
So how long were you guys in Montreal for?
I'm sorry?
How long you were in Montreal for the weekend?
We
or was
probably did it for about 3 or 4 days. Went to Montreal, then to Toronto, Canada. And then from there, I think we ended up in All-Star Game in Washington. Like I did so much traveling with
road trip.
Well, yeah, with my partner Greg Hildebrand. And matter of fact, Greg Hildebrand, who's just been named the top designer in New York. Okay, he's one of my like go-to guys as far as when we doing business, just one of those people that I've been knowing for decades. And he was the designer of the line that we were promoting. So we've got all kind of crazy stories, man. But like I said,
well, I want to hear one more. Not from Montreal. There gotta be something that happened.
Yes, a whole lot of stuff that happened.
You were on the road, so a lot of things had to happen, and Real Life Matters wants to know. And I'm pretty sure, hey, y'all people, you know, you want to hear something.
Y'all want to hear
he's a big time guy now, so
y'all won't hear too much dirt from me. Just talk about something fun that I did. Why we got to hear about something?
Okay, well, you don't have to do fun. Okay. Well, okay, what's fun? What was the memorable time?
I can tell you a memorable time. I remember going to a strip club one time in Atlanta. Well, maybe I shouldn't go there. Never mind.
No, you started it off because people are going to say, oh, they're going to be talking
I can't remember the name
and saying, look, this guy didn't talk about that.
I remember there's a comedian by the name of Nard Holston, who's a friend of mine. He had a sitcom on BET for a while, right? What up, Nard? But I went to Atlanta one day, and it was years ago. And I remember he was hosting. Jermaine Dupri had a partnership in a club at that time. It was like Hard Candy or some, I can't think of the name of the club, right? Man, how come as his guest, we came in the club and them people handed me a stack of 1,000 singles and told me to go have fun. I was like, I can do that.
Well, Atlanta's pretty crazy. They had Shark Bar then, and they had a few places, but it must have been somewhere out in Stone County or something.
I don't remember. I just remember it was, you know, Atlanta's just, the terrain of Atlanta's so weird. So, you know, you ride around a limo with a couple of drinks, you don't really know where it is. You just ride. You know, okay, we here now. Okay, open the door. You know, so that was pretty wild, man. Like I have a lot of wild stories. I remember one time I was at the magic show in Vegas, right? I was with my girl Spree, one of the bezeled out models. And I had on an all neon blue leather racing suit, my blue hat on. I'm talking about blue from head to toe. Blue.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Blue.
Check this out. So me and Spree were like, okay, let's go to this party. So we walked to the party, right? We're just walking up on the strip. When I get to the party, it's all red. Ain't no blue. Okay. I'm from Chicago. So when I get to the party, I'll walk into the party and it's a blood party. It's all red. And here I'll walk up with a whole blue outfit on them. The only thing saved me was, do you know that the police was sitting at the front door? So I just politely turned my butt around and went on back the other way.
You got the wrong. You didn't get the memo.
Valuable lesson, because I wasn't gang banging. I just like ice blue. But when I walked up into this thing, I was like, ooh, now when I travel, I wear cream and beige. Ain't no gang colors, cream and beige. I wear cream and beige. I ain't playing with these fools.
Cream and beige.
You know, if some colors turn out to be cream and beige, let me know. I'm gonna start wearing them too. Or the time I was stuck in the limousine for 12 hours with Soundmaster T at Freaknik.
Wow. So what happened then? Oh, 12 hours.
We were Freaknik traffic back in the day. We were just stuck, and it was interesting because at that time we had released with Soundmaster T, actually had a song called "Dance Too Much Booty in the Pants." Massive record. Oh. It was a massive record, and at that time it was charting on Billboard, and it was playing back to back with Trick Daddy had a record out called "You Don't Know Nan." Remember that record? With Trina and Trick, a huge record. So like literally our records are back to back on the radio. And we had a ball, but we were stuck in traffic for like 10 hours at Freaknik. And we just made the best of it.
I've been to that, but I didn't know I was in that until I was down there. And you know, you're walking around, I'm wondering, why are people taking photos of my leg or this? Like I couldn't understand what was happening because I'm from Canada. I didn't understand that whole thing was going on. And then after I realized, I said, oh.
Right. And see,
it's that type of thing.
The only reason I went was because my partner, Deli Dale, street promotions cat and radio promotions cat, you know, he had the connections and we had this thing going on with this record. And like, okay, let's go. I had no idea it was going to be like that. So, but over the years.
I don't think anybody knows the idea was ever into it.
But, you know, I got some stories, man. Seriously. But like I know. Stories to put me in jail. I ain't going to jail playing with you, DBoss. I ain't doing it. I love you.
No, I don't want to. So what kind of legacy would you like to leave the people when you pass on?
Very glad that you mentioned that. Very glad that you mentioned that. Because it's all seriousness now. This is the stage of my life that I'm in. It's legacy. Even when I post a Facebook post, before I hit send, I say to myself, is this something that I want my son and daughter to be able to see? Can they see this later on? And how will I feel about them seeing this? So for me, the music that I put out, the creative pieces that I create and the things that I attach my name to, it is about legacy now. It's not just about money. You know, I've made and lost fortunes. You know, I'm making lose some more. But time is the most valuable thing. So I'm using my time to really touch young artists. I got a lot of hope in B. Lilly because I feel like I've put a lot into him, and I know that he's going to put a lot into the future beyond me. And that's my thing. Like, I can honestly say that when I look on my life, I know that I meant something to somebody, and I help people because I look and I see people that are making money and careers off of just, you know, things that I helped them with. And that's what's important to me. I just want to do more of that. And if I make a ton of money while I'm doing that, great. If I don't, I can live with that because, you know, I'm not one of them people that think money don't buy you happiness because that's bull. That's what they tell poor people to make them feel better. That's nonsense. But at the same time,
it does make you happy.
Right. But at the same time, there are things in life that can give you that level of joy, you know. And when you reach out to somebody and you plant a seed in them, and then you see later on that they took that seed and sprouted a tree, and now they plant a seed in someone else. Hey, what else is there? That's what it's all about for me now. And my kids, I got a 1-year-old that'll be 2 on April 1st. And
wow.
They love music, and you know, I'm spending time with them, and hopefully we'll be raising them in Beverly Hills. So
how many kids do you have?
I have a 4-year-old. My son Kingston just turned 4, and I have a 1-year-old that will be 2 on April 1st, and I have a daughter who is 20 in college. She'll be graduating. Yeah, took a little time there in between. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. So is there something about Christopher Denson that people don't know about you or they misconceive?
What they don't know about me or they misconceive? I think that I'm a lot more sensitive and vulnerable as an artist than people may recognize a lot of times, because having that Chicago jacket that you wear and that persona, it breeds a certain thing that comes off as kind of like hardcore. Like I went to rent a car the other day and the lady was like, "You're so aggressive." I'm like, "How I'm aggressive?" And they're calling me aggressive. Who's aggressive here? So I think that people tend to think that I'm more of a jerk than I am. I can be.
Oh,
but
what you said you are?
I can be, you know, but I think that, you know, as a creator, I'm a lot more open than people may realize, because I feel that you, as an artist, you almost need to be in order to create. You can't close yourself off. And that's not something that, you know, a typical Black man from the west side of Chicago doesn't leave himself vulnerable and open to different things. But so the look may not look as if I do, but I also realize that I have to in order to create and to evolve. So I think people think I'm a lot meaner than I am, you know.
I don't know. You don't seem mean.
I think we're glitching a little bit.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay, you don't seem mean to me. But anyways, where can people reach you if they want to reach out to you for anything? You know, just tell people.
You can reach me at Peep Game Podcast on Instagram. Chris Denson Shy is also Instagram. Christopher Denson on Facebook. Those are the places. You can always check out my Peep Game Podcast on all the different platforms: iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's called Peep Game with Christopher Denson. And my XM radio show is on Fridays at 3:00 in the afternoon on XM 142, and it repeats a couple times during the week. But if you Google Christopher Denson, you can see the music I've done, and you know, I'm kind of out there a little bit.
A little bit, please.
A little bit. But
you have arrived. You have arrived.
I thank God for the blessings, because it's been a long time coming. And I just pray that he stays with me, and I want to do more. I really want my life to be a shining example of what God's glory and blessings looks like, you know, and I want to be able to take that and plant it in others. I want to be able to bless people exceedingly and abundantly, you know, and it can happen. And that's what I'm planning to do. I really feel like I was put here to do some great things. And I kind of take it seriously, but I'm a goofball too. I like to have fun. You know, I like to have fun. I do.
Really?
You know, all fun and no play. You know, that's not me at all. But I work.
All right. So, you know, it was a pleasure. Oh my gosh. People got to know so much information about you today that they wouldn't have. And it was a pleasure for me, and showing the people who is Christopher Denson, you know, CD, you know, and he's out there in the Midwest, you know, he's traveled and he's been in Canada, people. So
I'll be back. You know, and I want to leave you with one thing: the two artists that I want you to check out. Scoot is approaching 2 million streams on the Blue Hop.
Woo!
So that's Scoot, SQOOT, QOOT. Love him. And B Lilly, BLILLY. Check out those two artists, because those two artists are the future, and we coming for everything that we got coming to us. We coming.
You're coming for it. He's coming, people. You hear that? Coming.
I don't want none of yours.
Check out Scoot. Check out B Lilly. Check out Christopher Denson.
And Scoot.
Scoot. Yeah, well, I said right. Scoot.
And we don't want.
And also check out me.
All of ours. I don't want none of yours, but we coming for all of ours. Y'all can have next. We got now.
Right. So anyway, just stick around a little bit after the interview. But, you know, everybody follow me. They can see it on the screens. Follow me, DBoss_1. I'm all over. Go to the YouTube channels for any of the episodes that you haven't missed. Yes, the numbers don't reflect who we are. But, you know, because we're on TV, we got to send the raw footage. But it is out there. And you are being seen. So, you know, just so anyways, I do want to thank the viewers. Keep watching me. Keep watch Christopher Denson. Watch him, follow him, because these guys, he's a man that's making moves.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so everybody, so bye for now, and thank you for tuning in.
Have a fantastic afternoon, everybody. Peace and love.
Please.
All right, bye-bye.